Hey,
Hey.
Tim's back.
So I'm back.
Welcome to Tech Tuesday, episode 4, where we record and answer questions for the people. For the people.
For the people.
So I'm super excited. We'll jump right into it. Thanks for reaching out to us over the comments in YouTube and asking questions elsewhere like Instagram, Facebook. Please reach out and ask questions. That is why we do what we do here. And let's get right into it. You ready?
I'm ready to tell you that the wild card, 422 horsepower on the engine dyno, right?
Oh, yeah.
7,000 RPMs, just smooth, this power the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was clean. Self-learning 422. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
That was on a small block, like a ZZ4 motor with some aftermarket heads, and I want to say had 30 over pistons in it.
Yeah.
But, decently built motor, as we all do. It's great.
So you weren't just out vacationing last week? You were...
If you want to call that a vacation, yeah, I'd like to see what I do with my time at work. Do you have plans to add TPS-based load sensing for VE tables? I know our hardware is capable of doing it. Not yet. When it comes to that kind of fuel mapping, we're not doing that yet. So, like, down in the road, possibly. And we're not just going to be doing VE, but pounds per hour, possibly like an alpha N situation for big cam stuff. We just haven't went there yet. We haven't dove into it because we want to keep it simple and usable and good for the people.
Right.
So when we get to the point that we're really dealing with some hardcore, more performance aftermarket stuff, we'll probably look into that because that is literally a programming change for us and a bit of R&D on a dyno. It's not even like, it doesn't even take that much work. It's just a physical, let's just code some stuff, and then poof, we can do this.
Yeah.
So, that's a possible future direction for our project when it comes to fuel tables.
So it is mostly software related, not so much the hardware.
No, it's all programming.
Yeah.
It's all pretty easy stuff. I mean, I could even technically program that if I really wanted to, but then I couldn't answer tech calls.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I did. Hey, for the record, while you were gone last week, I handled probably about 75% of the tech calls that came in.
Oh.
Look at me. I'm growing up.
Good
I'm growing up in the
job.
tech world.
So how many tech calls does that leave me?
Probably
75%.
75%. All right, cool. All
You do
we'll
it.
Take it. All right. Question 2 by Trent Dog 2832 says, can I use my backup Terminator X 5 volt 100 psi oil/fuel sensors on my new Killshot system?
Sweet. Yeah, that's the thing. So before we actually got our own miniature brand of fuel pressure transducers,
Right,
or oil pressure transducers.
I was about to ask, yeah.
Yeah, I was using one from a competitor's kit that I happen to have a few of laying around. But it's just an SSI sensor. Is what
Okay.
I'd used initially, and it's a 0 to 100 psi, 5 volt, whatever. I didn't have to do any kind of weird offsets, but in the software, if you needed to, you can actually change the linear coefficient values if you needed to scale that sensor a little bit. But it's mine plugged in and worked exactly as it should.
So
it wasn't even a deal because it's essentially a lot of sensors out there are the same sensors, like the same range, the same voltage, the same pressure.
So does it plug into the fuel plug wire? Actually,
It's the same connector.
The fuel plug wire. I got it right here. Actually,
It's a sensor wire. We have it labeled as fuel because that was the original intent.
I know that's what it was for. Like that was
And
what we were going to plan to use.
Me
it for.
politicking and beating up engineers on a weekly basis. Now it does much more than just fuel.
Fuel, right? So you can. The short answer to your question is yes, but we also. I would probably recommend just going with our stuff anyway, just because the old mantra of our products are optimized to work with our systems, and so yeah. The answer is yes.
Also, if you already have the sensor, that's fine. Give it a shot. It should be fine. Worst case is you got to go into the software and actually adjust a few things. But in my case, that one sensor cost more than our whole kit for the fuel pressure kit, the transducer kit. Like that one sensor cost me. I was using it in a boosted situation. I just happened to have it left over. And I was like, I'll just try and do this thing. You start the R&D process on we should make this happen. And
the sensor is more expensive than the whole kit.
This one sensor comes in a little box, and I'm like, man, this thing. I mean, it was $150, I think.
Are these all screw-in?
So this thing right here, this sensor kind of floats on a rubber bushing because of heat and vibration, but this just screws in right here. This is actually, you can do, I think, like 2 different sensor styles on here that just kind of bolt in. That's why I put this big old fat washer on there, because this is like the one that we like. It plugs in. There's in the software, due to a lot of effort and personal emails. Now, when it comes to the O2 sensor, no, the map sensor, it used to be we just had one. It was just an A and B coefficient value. We would it's a 3-bar, that's what we used, and then we'd have to change it for this, which is a 1-bar. Now in the software, the newer version, it has a bunch of GM part numbers and whatnot in there that you can select from. So you're like, hey, I've got an AC Delco 1040, it's in there. Or I've got whatever custom one, you can go through the linear coefficient values and actually do the calculator in the software and then set the whole thing up if you want to be a straight up nerd about it, like I used to have to do. Now, we just pre-selected a whole bunch of them that are really common for the industry. So a lot of the things that will fit in this hole that people like, it's, that's in there now.
Sweet.
So, and you can still get some knockoff map sensors too that wreak havoc. But
let's go.
Yeah, no, it's kind of cool. I mean, we're making some progress on making the easy button for people.
That's the whole idea. Is to make
it
as plug and play as possible. I think that's our whole takeaway point, is the fact that we make systems to install it, key on, and be good to go.
We make systems and put them out, and we listen to the customers of what they're asking. Like, I would like it if it did this. Well, guess what? I'm the guy. I will push that point until I get a hard no, so I can tell people that's not a thing we're going to do.
Yeah.
Or, hey, we had a long conversation about this. We might take this into consideration.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, question 3. This is from Dano74Z.
Good job.
Or is it Z? He could be in Canada.
It could be.
Hello, 2 quick questions. Where are ACE's EFI units manufactured? What country are they manufactured in and tested? Well, that's mainland China, like everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
Whether it says it on the box or not. But we are happy to say that with this question, we have a huge amount of control and scrutiny over our manufacturing.
Yeah.
If there's something we don't like this manifold, we don't like this manifold, let's get this manifold changed.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Yep.
We get it changed. We don't have to go to middleman to broker to middleman to factory where they're like, nah.
No,
we just go from here to home office, and they go, what do you mean? Let's fix this.
Yep.
And then it's fixed, and then I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our process. We go direct to.
Right.
And it's nice because if there's something that we want that's better than everybody else that's buying, say, the same casting, which I actually think we have our own casting at this point.
Yeah, no, we do.
But the, we have such good control over that. It's like we need to be a little bit better. Like our coils looks a lot like a lot of other folks' coils. We have more windings in ours, puts out more energy. So yeah, China's the answer, but everything else is here in the United States and Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, which leads me to the second part of the question.
Where do we get our stuff tested?
So the testing is they have a wonderful lab of about 30 engineers that beat our products to death. And then there's a guy like me, because it comes back here and I will put something, if it's fresh and new or not been tested or some variation of it, I will go put it on a car and go and drive it for a week. I will go to a dyno and I will run this thing on a dyno. I will put it through its paces to make sure the fuel calibration is good, the sensor that we chose is good for the everything about it. When it comes to this, when we decided to go with this casting, I bolted it to a small block 302, looked for port alignment, bolt alignment, everything. Down here at the rail to make sure it wasn't too much distance or anything funny like that. I took the approach as a mechanic, as a technician, and put the thing on. It's like, this is great because I had the ability to change anything that wasn't just perfect.
Correct.
So, because I am, unfortunately, in this position, but fortunately in this position.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of stress and a lot to do, but, I'm looking at it from the point of view of our end user. I was the end user, and now I'm in the middle so that I can fix the things for the end users. And that's where I get a lot of my, ideas to go and test certain things is from customers that I interact with on the tech line. So yeah, it may come out of China, but it's not bad.
Yep,
it's not bad at all.
I've actually seen the majority of comments that come from customers say that quality, as soon as they open the box, is right there. So I better than most, and and what I've seen from others too, I can concur. It's a big word. That's a big word.
Second question: when I Google Map your location address, a Family Dollar store is the address.
We are a Family Dollar, actually. Turns out we are a Family Dollar. That's what it is. We actually
this is the old supervisor's office.
It is. We've moved locations. We used to be in Dayton, Tennessee, and now we are in Saudi Daisy, Tennessee.
Yeah.
But it is our warehouse. It is our facility. We have our customer service here, tech here, testing, sending out, warehouse management. All of that stuff happens here. And we, it used to be a Family Dollar, but I guess it takes time, and that Google truck has to roll by with the the cameras and stuff before you actually get to that point.
That, and we actually need to install our sign up front.
That is true, because if you do take that sign off, it still says Family Dollar. So we'll have to figure that one out.
Dude, I mean, we're not really exactly open to the public, so I mean, we don't even have to have a sign.
That's also fair. We're not like a storefront. I mean,
I'm amazed, honestly, of an old Family Dollar store of how much square footage we actually have, because
this is true.
We stack vertically here.
Yeah.
So we have a huge amount of inventory, but it's gone to, we have a pretty good footprint, and we streamline that process in a warehouse, and now it's going vertically. And it's like, yes, I can't wait till we go buy a Dollar Tree next or something. Who knows?
Right.
But so because you always see the Family Dollar and the Dollar Tree, or
they're like right next. Have you seen the ones where it's like the colors?
Yeah, and it's literally the sign split. No, that's very Tennessee. No, but we're in an old Family Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
The space was available. It was a lot more square footage. It was more laid out. It had a shipping and receiving area, so we can back trucks in. Mm-hmm. Whereas we was in, was it a bank or something? It was like the bottom floor of a building.
It was an older. A bank used to be there, but they had opened it up a little bit more.
Yeah, it had a really creepy vault in it. I remember that.
They did have a bank vault in it.
They called it the Chokey or something, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Some reference to an old film. So, anywho, we're in an old Family Dollar, and there's no shame in that, because I have a place to go and test. My tech area's in the back, so people can leave me alone.
Actually, I find you anyway.
Well, I mean, it's a whole different thing. This is tech related, so you're allowed to be back here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and keep the office people on their side of the wall, man. That's
okay.
Way over there, up in the warehouse.
So we have to put up the sign that says we are recording. Please don't.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the sign.
Yeah. So I've got Ryan. I've got Ryan. I don't even know how you say it. It's like Ryan. Has
or in Kentucky, and it's Ron
has a 65 Chevy wagon, 383,
nice,
10 inches of vacuum, and wants full timing control.
Right
For
on.
CDI, it looks like a Royal Flush. Looking for ideas, want to get in before the end of the month. He said he has a Sniper on his 64.
What's a Sniper?
But I'm looking for something more suitable for my dad, 65. Now that it's mine, looking for some ideas, please for a full kit.
383, low vacuum, not really a massive deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though that's still kind of low vacuum, you're still talking about you can set it to mild or race cam settings to adjust the VE table where it's populated.
Right.
Still not a massive deal. You'll probably have to bump up the idle just a smidge, but it's not really a massive problem.
Mm-hmm.
Royal Flush is a good one. I like it a bunch.
That's the one that you go with if you're looking for more like nitrous.
Yeah, well, it's got rev limiters and some.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can do launch and stuff like that. If you don't need all that, I doubt that 383 has really got the cylinder pressure requirements for needing a CDI box.
Sure.
Because even CDI box is cool. It has higher spark energy and all that good stuff. But I never go that route until I'm absolutely like I've built an engine and I'm losing spark because of the amount of energy I need to make spark.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of people that get a stock factory motor and they'll throw some kind of a CDI box at it, and it's just absolutely not needed. But they spent $500 on this thing.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It does do a good job and it is slightly more efficient. But if you don't really need it, you don't really need to add the extra bit of complexity with all the extra components and all the extra hookup. So I would Royal Flush is definitely a unit though.
Yeah.
But because you give the rev limiters and all that stuff, and with 10 inches of AFCAM, you've got a pretty rowdy cam, but it's still got the same level of tunability that the Killshot does. So you can do a whole lot of good stuff with it, and it's not that much expensive. What is it, like $1,200 or something? I don't even know.
Well, so it's probably adding about $400 to completely add on the CDI box from when you're going from the Killshot to the Royal Flush to add that CDI box. But the question I was going to say, or not even ask, but kind of have you hashed out is, in situations like this, people are like, well, why not just go with the Royal Flush in case I want to do the CDI box later? Is that kind of a mindset that people should have, or is it more like purchase a CDI box later if that's something that you're wanting to get into? Why have, in my opinion, why have the CDI if you're on the fence at best? You know?
No, CDI is always a good option. If you don't really need it, you don't need it. It's for me, it doesn't sound like a good selling point by any means. The saying like going to the grocery store when you're hungry. Yeah, right. It's one of those things like if you plan your build and you're like, I know I'm going to go nitrous later. I know I want a rev limiter. I know I want some basic launch control. I know I'm going to be running a different fuel later. Yeah, do it. Yeah, absolutely do it. But if you're looking at your project build and you know that if you just get it up and running and you're not going to do all the extra stuff later, and you're just like, I probably won't do that, but I'd like to have it. Yeah, buy it anyways because it's not that much more money. Right. It's the cost of one tire on my Corvette. One tire.
Also facts.
So that's not even a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it and you're even wondering about it, just buy the Royal Flush.
Yeah.
Killshot's a good unit, but Royal Flush is the same throttle body, more complex ECU, has a built-in CDI box, puts out a maximum of 150 millijoules, but it has 2 coil options, I think, too. We actually decided to put out the other coil. But yeah, I had a customer that had put it on their dash, nameless customer. This was early in the game. They had a Killshot, and they didn't have a dash in their car. They had it mounted to the roll bar, the roll cage. Okay. They put a couple self-tappers in there and just mounted that thing, plugged it in, ran it to the engine, hooked it up, and was running it. The lights were flashing, and they're in Texas, so it's the red and blue lights. We're just sitting there doing a thing.
No way!
Got pulled over, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my goodness!
He had to put some electrical tape over the lights because the police didn't like it.
Oh, that is, wow.
I mean, that's a legit reason because it is a red and a blue light and all that jazz. Sure. But
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even know that they could. I guess at night it's probably a little bit more intense, but I didn't even realize.
Oh yeah, well, in the middle of Texas, there's no lights in Texas. It's just straight roads.
Depending on where you are.
And very bored police officers. They pull you over to talk to you. I think.
I don't know. I haven't been to Texas since I was a wee lad. Thank you so much again for watching. If you have questions about ACEs, about electric fuel injection, about literally anything, it could be about where we work and where our facility is, please leave a comment on this video. Leave a like if you liked it. If you see content about Tech Tuesday on other social media platforms, feel free to reach out and leave a comment there with anything that you may have question-wise for ACEs. And we'd be happy to reach out to you or include you in the next Tech Tuesday video. And we would love to see you there. Is there anything else you would like to input in your wise, all-knowing tech mind?
I'm not all-knowing. I am a nerd.
You are a nerd.
I love testing things and I love solving problems. That's my gig. So anything you guys got out there that is like, why does it do this? Why doesn't it do that? Can it do this and that and so on and so forth? Drop that thing in. I want to know.
Yeah.
You know, Ben may want to know, but I
Yes.
really want to know
Yeah.
because I'm trying to figure out what everybody really wants and then push that hard
Yeah.
because that is awesome
Yeah.
that we get to do this.
Yeah.
I've worked for companies that it's more of an opinion noted, and these guys are like,
We
yeah,
wanna know.
let's check that out right quick. Let's
Yeah.
just have a go at it. Some things pass through, and all of a sudden, poof, it's an update.
Yeah.
Some things are like, not a lot of value in doing this because you got to look at the market, what the market averages.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you again so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.